Oh, hello, name redacted for privacy reasons. What's going on? Oh, yeah, you're supposed to be reviewing Generation X for Frontline this week. Really? You think that it's a book that I would really like? You think that I should read it? I don't want to take a review away. I mean, it is a #1. I know you... Are you sure? And you think I'm going to really like it? Awesome. Okay, yeah, I'll do the review. Sure, no problem. Alright, so yeah, I'll go read it now, and then I'll do the review. Oh boy. Generation X sounds interesting. And somebody actually gave it to me to review. Oh boy, I make you bet it's amazing. I'm going to kill this person. Hello everybody out there, and welcome back to Comic Frontline. I'm Chris, and you're here with me once again for another comic book review. And in this video, I'll be reviewing Generation X issue #1, as you can see from the wonderful intro, title, and picture that's floating on screen. But before we get into Generation X issue #1, I gotta give you guys two things. #1, there should be some preview artwork going on this side of the screen right here. And #2, as always, it's in the title as well, spoiler alert warning. I will be talking about stuff that happened within the pages of Generation X, and if you haven't read it yet and you want to read it and you don't want spoilers, you may want to take this video, pause it, put it in your watch later file, and come back later. However, I always like to give a non-spoiler overview of the book before getting into the book itself. So let's get into the overview. The first thing that jumped out at me when I opened up Generation X issue #1 was the artwork. And I really felt like a lot of the characters were in my face like that, a lot. The artwork didn't feel right for this book. The artwork in this book, out of all the X books so far, I feel is the weakest. And it's a beautiful day out, by the way. That's why we're recording outside, so I can actually do a little bit more with the camera work. But anyway, the artwork didn't feel really right for this book, at least. However, I am a fan of Jubilee, and I like the idea of Jubilee leading this group of student X-Men, or mentoring them. And if you're a fan of Wolverine and the X-Men, like myself, you're going to see a lot of those students coming back. You got Brew, you got Quentin Quire, especially Quentin Quire. I really enjoyed Quentin Quire's part in Wolverine and the X-Men, so it's nice to have him back as a main in this book. We get introduced to some new characters, and we get a kind of generic-ish ending. All in all, Generation X, I feel like, is definitely worth a check out. The artwork could be better, and the ending is semi-generic, but at the same time, this book definitely has a lot of potential. Now we go into a bit of spoilers. I know that wasn't really a good overview, but the first book really didn't give us too much to get into, so let's get into some spoilers. So Jubilee is back in New York, and as we all know, she's the acting mother of Sango, I want to say his name is. And one thing they throw at us literally a page or two in is the fact that Jubilee is still a vampire. You still see the teeth. You get a little reference when she's talking to Kitty Pryde, because she's going back to the Xavier School, and she wants to be one of the teachers there. So she has a meeting with Kitty Pryde. She almost accidentally gives the baby a bottle of blood. I love how they're still... I was hoping with the resurrection thing that they could try to undo a few things, and Jubilee being a vampire is definitely something that should be retconned out completely, along with Iceman, but we won't get into Iceman. We're in this book. So with Jubilee, I was hoping they'd retcon the vampire stuff out, or just ignore it to the point where fans would forget about it, and then they could just completely erase it without anybody really knowing. Unfortunately, they didn't. So she goes in and has a meeting with Kitty Pryde about working at the Xavier School, the Xavier Institute. And Kitty has an idea of what she wants Jubilee to do, and that's what the meeting's about. Then we get introduced back to the students at the Xavier School of Higher Learning, and we get to see Quentin Quire, like I said. We get a new student who comes in who has kind of like psychic powers. If he touches you or something, he could see into your past or something like that. He's a newer character that I believe will be part of this series. We get, like I said, Brew. We get to see him for a moment. I forget who the mutant with all the eyeballs is called. I keep forgetting his name, but he's in it. We get to see a lot of really great stuff. And then you see that Quentin's getting into a fight with one of the students because she scuffed his new $10,000 shoes. As he claims they're $10,000. I don't believe they are. and it's just a big fight. And what happens is he gets thrown through a wall, and next thing you know, a car beeps, and then you see Kitty Pryde behind Quentin Quire because he gets thrown through a wall, like I said. And she's like, if you move, my foot is going to phase into your you-know-what. So basically, Jubilee is going to be mentoring all these kids, and the new kid kind of gets a little bit upset because he gets stuck in the middle of this fight. He tries to help Quentin, and then Quentin punches him, and he's like, you know what? I'm out. I don't want to deal with this. And that's when Jubilee kind of chases after him and says, you know, it's not always like this. This is just the first day. Things get a lot better. I promise they get a lot better. And as she's trying to like get this, I forgot his name. I apologize, everybody. But as she's trying to convince him to come back to the school and give the school a second chance, at the same time, in the last couple of pages, the Purifiers attack the Xavier Institute. And that's where the book is left off. So I love how she's trying to convince him to stay and that things will get better, and then they get attacked by the Purifiers. And also the side plot is this new kid. It's his first day, so he's kind of like first day in the institute. So he ends up meeting his roommate. A few things go on, but then he just ends up wanting to leave after the whole fight with Quentin. That's the side thing. So you get the new student, you get Jubilee. The artwork definitely took me a bit out of this book. As much as the artwork definitely would fit in other books that are coming to my mind, this book in particular, it did not work. I really didn't care too much for the artwork in this book. However, the story definitely has me interested enough to say maybe I'll come back for the next issue. So if you're a Jubilee fan, if you're a fan of the students from the Wolverine and the X-Men story arc, if you're a fan of beeping cars that I don't understand why they have to do this when I'm reviewing, of all times, it's been quiet all day. But anyway, if you're a fan of all of those and you're a fan of a Jubilee-led book, this is definitely something you might want to check out. And with that, that's it for my review, guys. I leave it up to you guys. And now it's your turn. Let us know in the comments below, what did you think about Generation X? Did you like the artwork? Did you like the story? Did you not like the artwork? Did you not like the story? Are you going to continue buying it? Are you dropping it? Are you going to think about issue 2 like myself? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. And as always, we are Comic Frontline, your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you like what you saw here and you're new to the channel, hopefully you'll click that sub button below the video. This way we're in your sub box and you do not miss out on a single video. We have videos coming up, coming out, and coming on every single day. We have 3 live shows at least every single week. We got lots of stuff going on, so definitely click the notification bell as well so you'll be notified when we go live on our 3 live shows or more. Till next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I will see you guys really soon in the next video.